Who's actually going to get the most out of a 17-inch 4K chart plotter? And who would be better off putting their money toward a simpler display? If you're wondering whether the Garmin GPSMAP 9217 is a smart spend for everyday cruising versus a high-end racing setup, you're not alone. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The real question is whether the premium glass helm and the processing boost it promises translate into smoother day-to-day navigation, or whether you'll end up paying top dollar for features you'll never tap. Let's start with the core dilemma most boat owners face: the balance between screen size, clarity, and the amount of data you actually need while you're on the water. A 17-inch 4K IPS panel sounds impressive on paper, but the value shows up when you're trying to read charts in bright midday sun or when you need to glance at a race-specific overlay while trimming sails. In my own experience with mid-size cruisers, a screen that stays readable without squinting can mean the difference between a relaxed passage and a frantic search for a waypoint. The GPSMAP 9217's biggest selling point is that edge-to-edge glass helm. It gives the helm station a sleek, modern look, and more importantly, it eliminates the visual break you get with a traditional bezel. When you're tacking a big boat and your eyes are darting between the chart, the radar, and the autopilot status, that uninterrupted view helps keep your focus on the water instead of on a frame. It's a genuine usability boost that you can feel the first time you power it up. Processing power is another claim that Garmin pushes hard. The 9217 is said to be up to 7 times faster than its predecessor, which sounds like a marketing line, but the practical effect is noticeable. Loading a new route, switching between Navionics Plus layers, or pulling up a video feed from an onboard entertainment system all happen in near real time. On older units, you might wait a few seconds for the chart to redraw after you zoom. With the 9217, that lag disappears. For a captain who likes to adjust routes on the fly, that responsiveness feels like a real productivity gain. Now, let's talk about the sailing-specific features. The Chartplotter includes sailing polars, leylands, and race-grade tools. If you're a club racer who spends weekends chasing wind shifts and trying to hit the optimum VMG, those data overlays become part of your decision-making toolkit. You can set a target boat speed and watch the polars adjust based on current wind conditions, letting you see at a glance whether a heading change will improve your performance. For a cruiser who mainly wants to get from point A to point B, those layers sit there unused, and you'll be paying for something you never touch. Connectivity is where the 9217 really pulls ahead of many competitors. It supports both NMEA 2000 and NMEA 0183 networks, meaning you can hook up virtually any autopilot, radar, or sensor you already have on board without needing extra converters. The Gigabit Ethernet backbone promises reliable connectivity and gigabit speeds, which matters when you start streaming video from a cockpit camera or pulling live weather data into the chart. In practice, that translates to a stable link between your chart plotter and a 4K video source, so you could watch a live feed of the bow while still navigating. If you're the type who wants a single hub for all electronic gear, the 9217 simplifies wiring and reduces potential points of failure. But the premium package isn't without trade-offs. First, the price tag is firmly in the high-end bracket, and the unit itself is quite heavy. Installation on a smaller boat can be a logistical challenge. You'll likely need a professional to mount the glass helm securely, and that adds to the overall cost. The large screen also draws more power, so on a vessel with a modest battery bank you might notice a quicker drain if you keep the display at full brightness for hours. For day sailors who only need basic navigation, that power draw could be a nuisance. Another practical weakness is the learning curve. The touchscreen is responsive, but the interface is packed with layers, especially when you enable Navionics Plus charts, video playback, and the sailing overlays simultaneously. New users have reported spending a good half hour just figuring out how to toggle between radar, AIS, and chart views without accidentally closing a window. If you're accustomed to a simpler chart plotter that just shows a moving map and a few waypoints, you'll need to set aside time to get comfortable. That's not a deal breaker, but it's a hidden cost in terms of time and patience. So, who should definitely consider the GPSMAP 9217? If you're a serious cruiser or racer with a 30-foot-plus vessel, already running an NMEA 2000 network, and you value a seamless visual experience plus the ability to integrate video and high-resolution charts, The 9217 feels like a natural hub. It shines for captains who need fast route adjustments, detailed sailing analytics, and a display that remains legible under harsh sunlight. The unit also makes sense if you plan to future-proof your electronics, because the connectivity options will keep you compatible.